family is at the core of this film, and it always was. From the very beginning, Byron and Jared talked about wanting to tell a story about family, and knowing what an important part that is within the culture of Latin America, and obviously within the country of Colombia. It is at the core of this film. It's a three-generation family that all lives within one house, where everyone has their part within the family. And for Mirabel, she's the one character who didn't get a gift. She's trying to figure out how she belongs within this family. And I think what the film explores is the fact that we all think we know our family members, but we actually probably don't unless we've spent time asking them questions. And it really is about perspective and understanding. And over the course of the film, we learn a lot more about these characters that is under the surface, things that they haven't been expressing outwardly. And that's the journey that Mirabel goes on. And from that, the family becomes stronger. And I think that really is the theme of the film, is through perspective and understanding, we become stronger as a family. Just like the character of the water in Moana, which is a character, the house in Encanto is also a character. And from the beginning, the directors talked about the fact that they thought this would be an incredible way to bring this house to life in animation. But the complications of it are, you have to think about, well, how do you do that? They wanted truth in materials. They wanted to make sure it felt very real, that any movement that happened within the house could actually happen within a house, that it would be about floorboards and tiles and shelves moving. It wouldn't be about bending something that can't actually bend. So that requires a lot of work on our teams to come together to figure out, how do you actually animate that? How do you rig the prop or the property to actually be able to move that way? So there was an incredible amount of work done in it. But then you also have to think, how does that fit within the story? And I think that was the thing we spent a lot of time thinking about, which was, if the house is alive, is the house antagonist? Is the house in support of? Is the house sometimes in support of and sometimes against? Is the house giving advice? And so that was really the nuance we always tried to figure out, to make sure that the audience would believe that this house was doing things for the right reasons and fall in love with it, because that's the ultimate goal, is to make sure the audience falls in love with the house as a character. And I think the team has done an incredible job, and I'm excited for people to see it. Encanto is the 60th animated feature from Walt Disney Animation Studios, which is a pretty incredible thing to think about, that 60 animated feature films have been made over the course of 98 years. And as a piece of that, Encanto is both a reflection of the past and of the future. I think with respect to the future, and it representing the future of Disney animation and animated films for that in general, it's really tapping into what we can do technically today. I mean, this film is stunningly visual when you see these characters, and the diversity of the characters, and the diversity of the hair and the textures and the layering of the cloth, all things we couldn't have done in the past. Really, it's showing where we have come as a studio technically. It's also talking about thematically things that are important in today's world, which is family, which has always been important, but understanding and perspective within a family. And if you're a character who believes somehow you don't belong, what does that mean? And how do you figure out who you are in a way that feels great, and that you have an understanding of that?